Good evening to everyone watching. It is Nightsky Sanctum time, episode 19, and we are all so happy to be here. Let's go around the room and have everyone introduce themselves. We'll start with Morningstar.
Well, I do love to start with me. Although I do believe in principle one should save the best for last. Well, I am the magnificent Morning Star, and I shall be playing Elise, our menacing, mind-manipulating, matronly Median megalomaniac. She's rather marvelous.
Fantastic. Lilith?
Lilith and I play Zeph, a neurotic, haunted, as well as reckless shapeshifter. So a whole cacophony of fuckery right now.
All right. Anya?
I'm Anya. I'm playing Hollis. She is a gob baba. She is obsessed with all things dead and dying and the spirits of the dead.
And I'm the GM. Anya and I are the co-authors of Children of Midnight Coven, and we're so happy to have you along with us. Does anyone want to do a quick recap of the previous session? What hijinks you got into or got out of? Otherwise, I can. So, Night Sky Sanctum decided to do a zoo heist, and they headed to Central Park Zoo, where they first released all the monkeys and other primates, and then went through the penguin habitat. Eventually, they made their way underground and found that there was an entire labyrinth of other supernatural animals that were being kept there. If I can bring this volume up just a little bit. All right. And on their way out, they needed to avoid a couple of helicopters. And we had our first instance of shifter wild magic, which has been immortalized in an illustration. But they all headed back to their Covenstead and had a pretty good heal, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice
Getting
spot with
very
real
fresh.
conduit.
So we already did downtime and XP from the previous session. I believe Anya had something she wanted to do during free play before you all go on to your next undertaking.
Yes.
So you had a Fey encounter a couple of sessions ago. And so if you want to describe what happened there.
So it was the Christmas Krampus episode where I cast wild magic and had to flee the Red Watch into the sewers, where I met a Kappa, and he cleared all of my magic signature from the wild magic. And in return, he asked me to do a kind of quest type thing for him. So what he asked me to do was to take a box and deliver it as in hide it discreetly on the campus of Destiny Research Group. So that's what I am doing in my free play. I'm gonna hide this box.
Okay. All right. Do you want to gather any information before you leave? Do you want to alert the rest of the group where you're going?
Yeah, I will definitely tell everybody where I'm going. And
I don't think anyone cast telepathic bond last session, unless
Well-
someone remembers otherwise.
Do we need to Fey fruit that one?
Well,
Since you'll be going into Manhattan most likely alone.
Yeah, so should I spend a Fey fruit to have done that in downtime? Gavin?
Oh, you absolutely can.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking
Should
if that's
you is more of a question for your coven
Yeah,
mate.
I'm definitely going to.
Okay, great. Yeah, perfect. No roll or anything for that, so you're all
Yeah.
connected via telepathic bond.
So just so I understand, when we do the telepathy, we have to preemptively do it for the next session. It's not so much as I want to use a downtime action this time for this session.
Right.
Okay.
If we were to end before doing downtime, then you could do it as part of your downtime actions for the coming ones. But because we handled downtime at the end of the last session, yeah, we would have needed to do it preemptively or
Okay.
spend a Fey fruit, which is what she did. Okay. Do you want to gather some information before you head out, or just make your way to the city? And what's your plan?
From what I understand, they don't get a lot of gob volunteers because gobs don't want to be experimented on. So my plan was to just sign up, volunteer for a little bit. Try not to give too much away
Yeah, that'll definitely get you in the door.
and hide the box.
Yeah,
But yeah,
they don't get a lot of volunteers from witches at all,
yeah.
let alone people with interesting heritage like Gobs. So that's fantastic. All right. So if you're just planning on playing along and hearing them out, we can just jump right ahead to that because they'll be more than willing to have you in their shop and things like that.
Yeah,
Unless you're, and then we can just do a roll, maybe you're prowling or something afterward.
sure, yeah.
Okay. So you find your way to a building on the south side of Manhattan, and you find a big white building with very few windows on it that's labeled DRG for Destiny Research Group. And they're having a parking lot like welcoming committee kind of thing, where they're saying if you've exhibited any kind of powers, whether you're a witch or otherwise, they want you in. They want to take your plasma, that kind of thing. So when they see you coming, they really roll out the welcome wagon. They're trying to ply you with juice and um, cookies and everything they can to get you in to fill out some paperwork.
Okay,
All
I
right.
will take all the cookies and juice.
Cookies and juice for days. So, just before we get any further into this, is anyone else having problems with the audio? Has it corrected itself? Well, I'll wait. We'll wait for that, and I'm going to pull up the dice roller. Well, Steph's a tad quiet. I think you're at max, though, right?
Yeah, I can't crank anything up any further on my end.
Okay.
I think this headset's finally starting to croak.
Oh no.
That's not a
Like
familiar
Ribbit.
joke.
Ribbit. All right. So, okay. Um, yeah. So they get you in, and they move you to the front of the line, and yeah, there are several scientists there. Well, actually, sorry, not scientists. People at the front desk and everything that are really friendly to you, and excited to have you there. And you are able to quickly see some scientists who want to tell you about all the various interesting studies they have going on, for which they could use various parts of your anatomy. Were you willing to part with them? Of
Part
course,
with them.
they don't phrase it in that way, but
Yeah, I bet.
it seems like plasma is the bare minimum. And from there, they describe to you that because of which physiology and the nature of the technology they have to use to get further samples aside from those things, it gets pretty invasive pretty quick because they have to use archaic methods because they can't use the more powerful electronics that they would normally use on other people.
Mm.
So, do you want to try to get in good with them by partaking in any of the
Getting probe.
experiments?
Yeah. Sure, I'll donate some plasma to start with.
Okay. Let's do, since you're trying to be so friendly, do you think a consort roll would make sense? To just
Sure.
see how
Let me see.
well that goes.
Where's my
And we get
mouse?
to try out this fancy new dice roller.
Oh, consort's the one that I don't have.
Oh,
So exclamation point 0.
Okay. Yeah, that's a failure.
All right. Okay. Yep. So,
They don't want my plasma. I'm like, oh
oh no,
no.
no, absolutely not. It's quite the opposite. They almost won't take no for an answer as far as the other stuff goes. And you end up having to maybe get belligerent with them to get to shut them down, and
Okay.
kind of burns that bridge as in having a potential like friendship um, with
Oh
any of
wow.
them. Yeah. Um, yep. So, and do you want to deliver your payload?
Yeah.
How do you want to go about that?
I guess I'll go to the bathroom
Okay.
and see what I can find in there to maybe hide it inside of, or vents to open up.
Do you want to gather info in the bathroom, see if you can find any spy devices or anything like that, or any other method?
I don't want to know.
Make
But yeah, I'll check it. I'll like do a let's see, a survey to see if there's any like obvious cameras or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
two-way mirror.
Yeah. And I failed.
All right. So, all right. You don't really get any information, so it seems like it's most definitely clear. So,
Okay. Um,
and then you wanted to maybe prowl.
I mean, I wasn't gonna leave the bathroom if I didn't have to. Like, if there's like I guess if the toilets open up, I can throw it in the back of the toilet. If there's
If-
like a ventilation vent that I could get to.
Okay. Yeah. So do we need a roll for that? See how well hidden it is. Yeah. Let's do your coven tier is currently 2, so let's do a 2-die fortune roll.
And that's a bad
Wow.
result.
All right. So,
Jesus.
yeah, I think the toilet bowl ends up being the best option. You maybe didn't think to bring any tools ahead of time. And so, yeah, you find yourself at a loss there. So you're hoping that the janitor doesn't check out the inside of the toilet bowl. But
Not the
yeah,
bowl, the tank.
tank. Yeah, that's what I meant. And yeah, you have this ring-sized box that you were told not to open under any circumstances, and you gingerly put it into the toilet tank and make your way back out.
Well, he didn't say not to get it wet, so.
Let's hope it's not a gremlin in there.
One
All
would
right.
assume, given where you met the Kappa, that
It's
it
probably been
might have
wet.
already gotten wet.
All right. Anything else you want to do before you head back?
No, I can't roll for shit today, so I'm not gonna do it.
Maybe you got all the bad luck out early.
At any
No.
rate, if you roll a few more times, you can certainly get all the bad luck out.
You got
Yeah,
to
I will make one more like survey roll on the way out just to like see if I can peek in any doors and see if there's anything interesting.
Okay. Sounds good. Basically going the wrong way on purpose.
Yeah. I will take a Fey bargain to boost my dice.
Okay. Um. Hmm. Fey bargain. See what we have. All right. If anybody has any ideas. How about you go into a restricted area and you potentially offend the faction, or you do offend the faction, as
Okay,
in they're gonna throw you out, but at least
they're
you
gonna
have
throw
a chance.
me out.
But at least you
You're
have
more
a good
likely to
chance.
lock me up and try to keep me. Then it's a rescue mission.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe we hope you roll badly then. Right. That is a complete success. All right. That is good times. Maybe you did get rid of all the bad luck. Okay. So you head into a restricted area. You do it so quickly and so quietly as a gob and smaller than what everybody else is looking for that you kind of just slipped into that back room unnoticed in all the bustle of other people getting work done. And one of the first things you notice is there's a lot of lab coats that are hung up in the back room, and you recognize some of the insignia on the lab coats, the name tags, and the DRG tag that's embroidered onto the lab coat is the same as the missing spot that you saw when you were down in the Central Park Zoo underground area. They appear to be the same lab coats.
Mm-hmm.
You find a door marked biohazard,
I'm
and
going in there.
that definitely, yeah. I thought that was immediately going to pique your interest. So yep, you walk up to the door and you go to open it, and a bolt of electricity shoots out from beside the door where there's a little keypad panel
Yeah.
and zaps you on the hand,
Ow.
but then the door unlocks. So
I'm going in.
you shorted out the panel and got into a restricted area. And from from inside that room, you're immediately greeted by a blast of cold air, and you find what looks like a morgue.
It's her wildest dreams.
There are at least 6 bodies on gurneys, and you immediately notice that one of the bodies is about half-sized. So either a child or
I'm gonna go open up the bag.
All right, it's a gob. Do a 2-die fortune roll. Let's see if you recognize them.
I don't know all the gobs.
What? You're a gob and you don't know all the other gobs?
Have we even run into any gobs?
Well, if you roll as poorly as you have earlier,
I got a 6.
much better. All right. So, okay. Let's see. You recognize them as a member of another coven, not a rival or anything.
Hmm.
But let's pick a faction for them to have been associated with if you want to get more information on them later. You guys have a good ins with Vulture Votary and a little bit with Scarlet Incarnation.
I feel like gobs and vultures go together.
Okay, Vulture Votary. And a name.
I don't
How about
know. It's the hardest part for me.
Esme?
Sure.
All right. Gob. And when you pull back the blanket, you are greeted with a very disturbed corpse. You can tell that they have used drills to take out like bone core samples.
Ow.
And yeah.
Can I speak with the dead and speak to them?
Yeah, that is something that you can do. What do you want to use for that? I
Speak
think
to the dead.
usually a focus roll.
Yeah, I think so. It's just a grimoire ability. I don't. Do we have to roll for those?
Yeah, to gather
Okay.
information.
All right. I will do a focus roll. Complete success.
Wow. Much better.
You really did
Okay.
get all of those bad
I
rolls.
hope so.
It looks like it. All right. So, yeah, you're going to get a lot more information about Esme. So I will detail you with that. They want the hell out of here, but you don't feel like you could probably get
Yeah,
them
no, I'm
out.
not dragging a corpse through the building by myself.
All right. So yeah, we'll take that as the gist of it. And what do you want to do from here?
I'm gonna do my best to leave.
Okay. Do you want to try to do it without consequences? Maybe prowl out or just strut?
I'm just walking out.
Okay.
And if they try to
I
stop me,
approve.
then I will take some actions. Some
Start
Let's-
bitey
fighting.
actions.
They're not gonna try to stop you, but they are going to officially note that you were in a restricted area.
Okay.
So let's add one fate to the coven.
Okay.
All right. And nobody follows you. They do sort of shout some things at you, but you keep walking and nobody like chases you down or anything.
Okay.
All right. At this point, do you want to just telepathically relay information back to the coven, or do you
Yeah.
want to head back?
I'm gonna start heading back. If I remember correctly, Vulture Votary's island was pretty close to ours.
Yeah, it is. They're on
So
North
I
Border
might
Island.
make a
You're
pit
on
stop there on the way back and let them know that Esme's body is in DRG and it is fucked up,
Okay.
and that
That's
I
the
would be
medical
willing
term
to
for
go
it.
get it for them if they could help financially fund the expedition.
Okay. Yeah, do you want to go over any of that with your coven mates?
Sure, I'll brain blast all of that to you guys.
How do you enjoy your brain blast?
I'm just laying there on a chaise while the children run around, watching Hollis's adventures, or at least the parts that are being relayed.
Yeah. You feel a bulge in your shoulder as something goes under your muscle and pushes up the entire area, and
What?
then just sort of settles back into the rest into your body.
Is that sticks?
What's that?
That sticks?
No, sorry,
Totally
that's
normal,
release.
darling. That happens to me after every workout.
It's ghosts.
It might have something to do with the things that are in you and all the kids. That are likely in all the kids, that is.
Oh.
The parasite.
Oh,
Oh,
me,
no.
I'm the one with the bulging shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Understand. How terrible. Painful.
All right.
That
Do
certainly doesn't seem healthy.
you want to ask them if they want to help out?
Yeah.
Let them know.
You guys want to help me bust a dead body out of a research center?
Heck yeah.
Well, I'm not exactly fond of dragging corpses around, but I suppose it's a fun way to spend an evening.
Do you let them know about the possible link between
Yes.
okay Central Park Zoo lab and
Just picturing Hollis showing them a corkboard with pictures and string tied together, raving at them.
all right. As far as negotiation with Vulture Votary, they'd be willing to give you 3 Fey fruits in exchange for the return of Esme's body.
I'll take that.
I'm so glad you didn't call it Bob the Gob.
I have a chart, but I have no tarot cards in front of me, so next time. All right. So yep, you have the basis of an idea. Do you want to start an undertaking?
Yes.
Right. Do you all have the undertaking of the coven sheet pulled up? Oh, I see everybody popping in the coven sheet. You guys have 3 reputation, 3 influence now.
Nice.
Fantastic.
You want me to go ahead and add that fate?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Unless someone else already did. Now don't
I just
forget
did.
plus 1d to locate something hidden.
Yes,
The thing
We
that you
shall
all
forget.
can do.
probably.
All right. So, as far as the undertaking type, this is not one of your favorite undertakings. Locate, artifact, destroy, or arson. Probably like body retrieval. So, what method and detail do you want to use?
Should we perhaps... Well, I suppose you know the way in, darling.
Well, a front door.
Yeah.
Should we perhaps see if we could find a more subtle way in? Oh, I've got a gun.
There is that.
Subtlety's not always required.
Picturing the
you-
Danny DeVito thing. I just start blasting.
Yep. Do you want to go in at night when everything should be more or less shut down?
Yeah. Let's do a stealth. and maybe we do a couple of gather information rolls to see if we can figure out entry points that we could possibly exploit.
That sounds good.
Be fun. I have my first point in survey now. I might actually be able to help.
So group action or a familiar maybe? Or a shapeshifted Seth?
Yeah. Ron could do a flyby.
And I could shapeshift Ribbert, and they could do a flyby as well.
Or you could do one F by
Whisper
land and
can
one F by sea.
Whisper can form a little web between the two, as if he's paragliding.
That sounds adorable.
So yeah, you could have all three of your familiars descend on the building and just go hunting around looking for entry points.
This is like one of the OVA episodes or something. It's just an episode with just Steph, Ron, and Ribbert having a great time. It has nothing to do with us anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with your familiar being able to shapeshift. That as long as they can shapeshift into something that can carry a gob's body, you could probably pull this off as familiars alone.
See an owl flapping through some hallways.
We could at
Over
least
here,
get them
guys.
into the building and
For
then
sure.
have one of them unlock from within.
Good point. Maybe maybe Hollis's magic electrical weirdness can help you all get back in again.
Static electricity. Break all the logs.
All right.
Do also have a gun to break locks.
True. All
I
right.
don't get to fire that enough.
Very, very few times. Once?
Once. I still have 2 bullets. Waiting for the perfect target.
Oh, yeah. Because getting more bullets requires a downtime action.
Ooh.
Yeah. Kind of a big deal. All right.
Very careful with them.
Is that so a group action? What type?
I guess survey kind of makes the most sense.
And who's
agree.
leading?
I would think so.
I'm sorry, Lilith. What?
Oh, I was just saying, because I was checking my survey. I only have 1 in survey, but I have a fair amount of willpower. I don't know how everybody else is doing. I know we recovered a fair bit last time.
Yeah,
Sure
I got
did.
4 marked. That's exciting.
Yeah, I think critical on drawing down the moon, if I remember right.
Which was just perfect because we all desperately needed it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So who's leading?
I
I
can
have
lead
enough
it this
willpower to
time.
lead a group survey if you want. Oh, yeah. If you want Hollis, you can. But I have enough points to do it as well if you're... I don't know how much you're stacked up for. I know you were pretty full last time too before the downtime.
Yeah, I think I only have 4 marked right now, so I think I'll be okay.
Okay, I'm about the same.
Yeah. And since I've been in the building, I kind of have a little bit of an idea.
All right. So everybody can roll survey.
Oh, there we go. It's success already.
Yeah, Hollis starts with a 6.
Oh.
Seth continues
Little
with the
more.
6.
Well, now I'm going to let everyone down, I fear. It's a 4.
That is not bad at all. All right.
Is that any willpower?
It's just 1 willpower to use the to lead, but that's
It's a
it.
shame I didn't lead this, because that would be a crit if I did Master Planner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you could join those 2 6s into one crit. So yeah, you are at a major advantage right now You have multiple methods of entry
Nice.
for both for your familiars potentially, and even for some of you. So I think that you find an alley door that was propped open
Oh, nice.
in the back, and maybe
Smoke
then
block.
forgotten about.
Someone went on their smoke break and left
Yeah.
it open.
Yeah, smells heavily of smoke. So yeah, that seems like a possible good way in.
Yeah, that sounds like a great way in.
Perfect.
Yep.
Just walk in the back door.
You will be coming in from a different area than you are used to, than you were in before. So you'll have to find your way around to get back there. But yeah, a great start. So for an engagement roll, so we're doing stealth, and the detail is this propped open back door.
Yeah.
Doing some quick maths. That sounds like a 4 dice engagement roll. Let me roll that. Let me roll that from a different computer. All right. So you will be entering in a risky position. Okay. So you come in through the back door. Are all of you going in together?
Oh, certainly, darling.
Okay. In that case, you all go in together at the same time, and as you come through the doorway, you are immediately confronted by a janitor pushing a mop directly toward you. He just basically comes around the corner straight into like a break room area that you've all come in through the back door into. And he's wearing a headset, a Walkman, and just mopping away. And as his eyes kind of lift from the floor toward the three of you, you have a chance to react. um, so, yep, you are pretty much instantly spotted. You can choose how you want to handle that.
I have enigmatic form, and it says I can use one essence to shapeshift quick enough to resist a consequence, and stealth is one of the options, other than a
Yeah.
supernatural feat. So I
So what would
will.
that look like? You could probably use that to help out everyone else. Maybe you
I think
shapeshift
I'd
while
like
you're
to
in the
be a
doorway.
fly and then buzz around his face that he's swatting and maybe he's distracted, so then I can kind of zip into a room.
I love that. Yeah, that sounds great.
So I'm gonna tick that before I forget. Okay.
Awesome. What form are you going to take for that?
I'm just gonna be probably like a mosquito.
Oh, okay.
If
Nice
you get
and
any of his blood, we can use it for magic.
small. All right. So, yep, the two of you are going to need to do something to get out of line of sight. I'm assuming you're like the biggest mosquito, so when he sees it, he's like, there's not a moment hesitation. He knows he has to like get this thing away from him, or he's gonna lose a pint of blood.
For sure.
Okay. So, Elise and Hollis.
Prowl?
Okay. Try to find another room to duck into.
Or we could, yeah, I guess, I don't know. Quickly just
We
trying to
could
think of
just
what.
kill the man.
That's not very stealthy.
You could go in his brain and figure out where the room is that we want to be at.
He's a janitor.
But he might have keys.
Oh, he might have keys.
Well, then we should just kill him.
Sure. And then if we need to talk to him later, I'll just talk to him after he's dead.
I think that's cheaper, essence-wise, anyway, than trying to
Okay.
take over someone's mind. So yeah,
It is
got it.
much cheaper.
you
I'm
save
just trying to be
yourself.
practical.
Yeah, save yourself 3 essence by just murdering people and then speaking to the dead. They're not generally very friendly when you do it that way, but still
This
get
is
information.
fine.
All right. So, Elise, do you want to handle that?
Sure, I will take my. How should I do that? Do you want
Throwing knives are
fun or
probably
quick?
quiet.
Quiet. Overrated. Well, actually, yes. So I shall take my dagger and attempt to ram it right into his back and hit his lungs so that he cannot shout.
Okay. Let's see. Lungs, dagger. Yeah, I'm gonna say standard effect since he's distracted. So risky standard.
Right. And what
And
would
you're
you say that would
using.
likely be?
I assume you're using finesse.
I suppose so, yes. Delicacy rather than brutishness. It's a partial success at a 5.
Okay. So let's see. Do you want to describe what that looks like?
Well, I take out my switchblade and I flick it about open, turn it over so it's proper stabbing position, and I rush up to him while he's flicking away at this fly, whatever
Swinging
that
his
word
mop.
was, and I jam it right between the ribs in his back.
Yep, one of his lungs deflates instantly and he wheezes.
3 days from retirement.
Oh.
All right. He collapses to the floor into a pool of his own blood, and no janitor to mop it up.
Yeah, the day guy will take it.
Yeah. All right. Continue with the plan.
Yep.
All right. What do you want to do for that? How do you want to go about it?
I'm gonna check him for keys.
Okay. Is that a search?
What do we?
I don't think you would need to roll it, but okay.
I'm gonna pat him down.
Yeah, you look in all the expected places and you don't find any jingly keys, but then you hit his shirt pocket and you find that he has 3 different key cards, magnetic, in his shirt pocket.
Good thing I didn't try to stab him from the front.
Yep. You're not 100% sure that they'll get to every room, but three keys is a pretty decent amount for a building like this.
Yeah.
All right. So do you all want to split up and search through the place or look for something together?
Well, Hollis knows where the body is.
But not from this side of the building.
That's true.
Correct.
But
I would
and I'm
recognize
sure
him.
Gavin will remind us if
Yeah.
I didn't say this. We have the advantage of that extra die to find something hidden.
You do. You totally
Yes.
first time using it potentially.
Woohoo.
Potentially you could all 3 do a group action and all 3 of you could use an extra die if you wanted to. That might get you
Ooh.
to the body pretty fast.
Yeah.
To locate something hidden using the power of your patron spirit arcana.
Yes. And we would do that with like a survey or maybe a target since we're trying to target something
Mm,
specific.
that
Specific.
makes sense. Yeah.
Works for me.
Certainly works for me as well.
Who wants to
Awesome.
lead that?
I've got a
I
target
shall lead
now.
it. I shall lead
Okay.
this one, just in case we, by some miracle, get a couple of sixes again. Now, use an essence for master plan.
Awesome. All right. You can all roll those. Oof.
I got a failure. Sorry.
Yeah, that's 2 successes, at least.
And yep.
It's
All
just
right.
one when you.
So that's just going to cost you 2 willpower, which Master Planner reduces to 0.
Nice.
But still an
Yeah.
essence.
Yeah. So let's see. I think what that might look like, because it was still a partial success, I was thinking that might look like Seth follows a trail down a hallway and is caught on camera. Maybe you don't even notice, but then you double back and rejoin up with the rest of the group. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What form do you
I'm
want to be
assuming
in?
I'm still not a mosquito at this point, because otherwise that's not very conspicuous.
You could be a very suspicious mosquito.
It's a very large
Exactly.
mosquito.
Do I just have a fedora and like sunglasses?
This fedora is actually part of me.
It's a birth condition.
If I throw my sunglasses, it's like throwing my hand.
I guess I could look like the janitor, but maybe kind of rickety.
Okay. You want to do a impersonate?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'll do an impersonate. So that's
Yeah.
a study plus an essence. So let me just roll that real quick.
Okay. And yeah, so there's something a little off about you. We'll add 1 fate to the coven,
Okay.
unless you like crit it. All right.
1 willpower.
But yeah, you're gonna trick almost everybody with that. Well, yeah, I think obviously they know that it's not
Yeah, they can see him like dead on the floor on the other camera.
exactly. So they know on camera that it's not actually. Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah, let's just add 1 fate to the coven for that, and then the other 2 of you followed shortly by Seth, looking like the janitor. What do you want your Seth like difference to be?
Maybe I got like gills sticking out on top of my like janitor jumper.
Yeah, sounds good. And like your lapels are a little wet.
Yeah. Ever so slightly musty.
All right.
Janitor from Innsmouth.
Yeah, you work your way through a couple of hallways together, and before you know it, you are back at that biological hazard symbol on the door. That you
Are we
know she's.
super lucky and the locks are still broken from when I shorted them out?
We can make a fortune roll. So
Yeah.
2 die fortune roll. You want to roll that?
Sure. I just always have to find my mouse.
Yeah. Sounds like a Seth problem. It doesn't.
No.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, you can see marks around the door, around the. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Klaus, one of Anya's favorite people. You can see there's marks around the keypad where it's been pried off the wall, probably fixed and replaced since the last time you were
I'm
here.
gonna touch it again and see if I can't short it out.
All right, what do you want to roll for that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to hurt myself, so
Like a focus?
sure, I'll focus on breaking it with yeah.
Breaking it
Suppose
in a
if you're channeling your essence into the hand, that would likely cause it to have a greater issue than if you weren't actively trying.
yeah. Uh
Let's see
yeah.
how bad it hurts. I got a fail again.
Oh
Oh,
wow,
no.
on 4 dice.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Wow. Okay, so whatever happens, your mind immediately clicks over. Ooh, I should have tried that key card first. But a jolt of electricity that's like all of the power that would be running through this thing, and probably a little bit more, just leaps out of the pad and travels down your arm, through your shoulder, and then flings across the room and finds another piece of metal to travel down into, narrowly avoiding killing you from the electricity. Apparently, they've got a lot more wired up in this than they probably should.
Gonna
Uh,
hold up the key cards for somebody else to try while I like rub my arm.
that's going to be level 3 harm,
Oh.
electrocuted.
Oh,
Electrocuted.
Yeah, you could take a resistance if you don't want it to be that bad.
your hair's all cool now, though. It's all like slicked up.
Yeah, I'll do a prowess resist and see if I can get that down a little bit.
Okay.
My prowess is 4.
So that's
Actually, I think
R,
R.
exclamation point 4R.
1 willpower.
Okay. All right.
So that's a what now?
That's going to reduce it from level 3 electrocuted to level 2 um, electrically burnt arm.
Electro burns.
Yeah.
Your
Mr.
arm
Burn.
might be a bit numb for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just hanging there from the elbow limply. But basically, I think what that looks like is as soon as the energy jumps out to your hand, you immediately contort your arm so that it arcs back, and so it doesn't go all the way across the room and have to travel so far through you. And
Okay.
it arcs back and it just doesn't stay in your system as long.
Okay, who wants to try the key cards?
We'll try. Can I study them to see if I can determine which one would be the most appropriate to use?
Okay. Yeah, you're also not sure if the keypad is now still functional either. But yeah, you can sense there's kind of a level 1, level 2, level 3 based on how strong the color of red on the side of the card is. So there's like a really light red and like a pink, and then there's like a salmon, and then there's like a nice bright red, and you're like, yeah, that's probably where this one goes. So what do you think? I think since you're dealing with technology, maybe focus. Do you have another idea?
This works.
Okay.
Can do my best and hopefully keep from
And we'll still
causing
say
an
risky.
electrical kerfuffle.
Yeah.
The partial success at a 5.
Okay. All right. So I think a couple swipes and nothing happens, but then you sort of press a few buttons and you can get it beeping again. and then you swipe it again, and you hear the door unlock.
Perfect.
The door
Break it.
is like a pocket door, so it starts to slide open, and it jams on its hinges. And so the bottom part is like a little bit open, but the top part's still closed. You could get like a squirrel through it, but not much more.
Where would we find a squirrel?
Or a massive mosquito, or a really tiny janitor.
Really for small messes. Oh, boy. I think I'll do a rat because I have little dexterous hands.
Okay.
I think the issue that we're going to have to address is, though, that we're going to have to get something much larger than a squirrel out of this room.
Yeah, well, there might be a way on the opposite side of the door to like jimmy it open.
Perhaps.
There might be somebody named Jimmy on the other side of the door.
He's in the bag on the far end.
All right. Yep. So yeah, you're able to get in, no problem. And your little rat eyes can see pretty well in the dark. There are some really low power fluorescent bulbs on the ceiling that are still on. So you can kind of get a general view of the room that's lit, but it's not super helpful. Just enough to prevent you from a person from hurting themselves.
Okay.
But yeah, you can see there's still 6 gurneys in here, and you remember where Hollis showed you in her mind earlier where the gob was. So if you want to go check on them.
Okay. Are there just gurneys and body bags in this room,
Yeah.
or are there like tools and instruments or anything? This
There
is
are
strictly
also
just a storeroom.
tools. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there, from my little beady rat eyes and me being on the floor, am I able to see anything like that I could potentially like jam into the door?
Sure. Yeah, there are a decent amount of tools: bone saws, drills, scalpels, things like that. Though nothing's really jumping out at you as to be exceptionally useful getting the door open. But like you said, you might be able to jimmy something together.
Okay. I'm just taking a quick look at my sheet.
You could also turn into something huge if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Make short work of the door.
Yeah, I was just seeing if I had anything in my assets that might be useful, but I don't think prying open a door with a katana is going to be useful.
Probably
Although a
not.
rat with a katana would be very cute.
It would just be a rat standing on a katana, really.
I would think of one of those like little like ones you put in drinks that have like the olives on them. Just
Nice.
yeah, maybe I just go dire form as a rat and see if I can launch a hole out of this door for everybody else to get through.
If you turned into a rhinoceros, you could use your horn.
You just bust it down.
Okay. Well,
I'll just do like a gorilla or something and see if I can literally grab it and heave it.
Okay. Do you want to just try as a gorilla, or do you want to just use dire form and make it so you don't even need to roll?
I'll just do the dire form.
Okay.
Make it easy for everybody. So I'll just take an essence and then we're good to go.
Yeah. You want to describe your dire gorilla?
Yeah. So from rat form, the arms pop out first, and then the legs, and then so I got these massive arms and legs and this tiny little face, and then just swells up and monkey face. And then I want to get my grubby little mitts on the door, heave under the corner, and like kind of peel and crunch it up like tinfoil if I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in dire form, you're like able to reach down to the floor, even though you're standing up and your back is like hitting the ceiling. These like, little 7-foot ceilings. You're pushing up those little
I'm
tiles.
bending the roof tiles.
Yeah, the little tiles are all bowing up from your back, but you reach down there and just grab the door, and you just hear gears shredding as you push it into the pocket, and then it breaks completely off of its internal hinges, and yeah, the
Now I
door is
have a
open.
weapon.
There you have a shield, darling.
Same difference.
Well, if you're Captain America.
Rectangular Captain America.
I don't imagine that would work as well.
Probably not.
Probably
I
not
just start
as well
spinning
as
like a sandwich board.
Oh yeah. Which way is Quiznos? All right, Anya, you Hollis knows the bed best. If you want to go check on the gob,
Yeah, I will go and open up the bag again to check and make sure it's them.
I'm gonna be bad and make a fortune roll. Ooh.
I'll open all the bags.
Okay. Yes, obviously. No, I'm checking to see if they knew, if they figured out what happened, and they moved the body. Which apparently, the body bag that you looked in before has been emptied. So the bag is still there, and some bits of her are still in it, but the majority of the body has been moved.
What bits are left?
Apparently, they missed a few chunks. There's a toe in the bottom of the bag,
Oh.
and a lot of fluid.
Charming.
I'm
Somehow,
gonna
though, less disgusting than last week.
Would my psychometry be helpful in an attempt to locate the rest of the body?
Um,
Or
I
more
would,
so just to understand who did it, I guess. I probably can't tell like where they went.
yeah, yeah. Generally, it doesn't work on living things,
Oh, okay.
psychometry, but
It's not alive.
right.
Oh, valid point.
um, but I've always considered it to be like it's kind of a cusp thing. So it starts at no effect, but if you pump willpower, you could get it up to reduced effect. You could probably work with it to try to make your psychometry powerful enough that you could actually get some information.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do that, um,
Does
I
anybody have any other ideas?
Could I just speak with the dead again and see if I could contact her spirit and have her tell me where her body is?
The toe just points us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you guys want to work on that together and we can use the better of the two, or do you want to have one person go first and see what information they get?
I mean, I would rather go first and save you some willpower, and if it doesn't work out, then we can move on to you having to spend willpower.
Sure.
Okay. What do you want to roll for that?
I'm gonna do a focus roll, and I'm gonna spend 2 willpower to boost it, so I get that 4th die.
Okay. We're going to do risky and reduced effect because there's so little of the body.
But I'm not necessarily using the body. I'm just using my speak with the dead.
It does require you to touch a corpse.
Oh, okay. Well, this I am
So
touching a
technically,
corpse.
you are touching a corpse, but that's why I'm saying I think it'll be reduced effect.
Okay.
Do we think the other corpses in the room might have been watching?
Nice.
You just touch all the corpses.
Corpse
I'm gonna touch
pile.
this one.
You just
Duck.
put all the
I got a
corpses
5, so that's not too bad.
put all the corpses on the floor, and then you dive into the pile.
Roll around in the corpses. Who wants to chat?
Ugh, it's like a really gross ball pit.
Who has info? Yeah. If they're all guys, it is the grossest kind of ball pit.
Oh.
So yeah, that's a lot of 5s. So yeah, as far as it's reduced effect, so you're not going to get a whole lot of information, but I don't think there are going to be any bad consequences.
That's
The
good.
main thing you want to know is where did they
Where the
pick
body is.
and that is absolutely aligned with what she wants, which
Yeah.
is to be laid to rest in a more appropriate way. I think her spirit emerges from the underworld, and is now like following you around, and you can view her and sort of get information from her as far as like which way she's pointing. So thank you for the channel points. That's awesome. We are so close to the Vile Legion Strikes Back, and we have a really good undertaking planned for that one. But yeah, so she is, her spirit is now like in the room with you, and you can sense her.
Okay.
Almost has their own party aside from us already. We can't
and
see
she
them
is
though.
floating through walls and trying to lead you somewhere.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask her to please not float through walls. Because I can't do that, and that's not helpful to me. So
Man, I could try some wild magic, and then we could float through walls.
I made us ghosts. Yeah, I will try to follow her spirit to her body
Okay.
and have everybody else come along.
All right.
Make sure I don't die in the process.
All right. Challenge 75% complete. 24,000 channel points raised.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, was that before the Scytherian contributed? Because now it might be
I think so, because I
way
think
more.
Rhinos did some, so.
Gotcha. Okay.
Real close.
Trying to think if a roll should be needed. I think maybe another target, because yeah, she's having a hard time like following where hallways lead and doorways. She's just sort of
She
plowing
wants
through.
to, as the crow flies it.
Right. So maybe a group target, would that make sense?
Can we use any more of our finding lost things? Did we use all those dice?
I
Did
completely
everybody
forgot
add a
to
die?
add the extra die last time, so.
Who all added the extra die?
I did.
So yeah,
we
you
have 2
guys are
more.
up.
Awesome. Let's use those.
Oh, you didn't use yours?
No, I did. I used mine.
So
I
did
did it.
everyone else.
No.
No?
No, I completely forgot to roll 2 die.
Oh, okay. What about Seth?
I used mine.
Okay.
Do we have 3 or 4?
3 in total.
Oh,
Okay.
so we
We
have
have
1
like
more.
3 in total.
Yeah. 3 is this number. I can
Okay.
make a turkey. Thank you, Struggle Princess. We are so close.
You're gonna have to show me how to do this. I'm so behind.
I bet you have a whole bunch of channel
I
points.
probably do.
I
It's in
only
like the
just
lower
figured out
left.
it's like, yeah, like clicking the essence bit in the bottom of the chat. Like I just figured out that now, because otherwise I've been waiting for the pop up.
It's like a purple mandala
Mm-hmm.
that you can click down there. At least that's what it looks like on my screen. But it won't let me use any points.
I'm not subscribed.
You don't have to be subscribed, I don't think.
Okay.
You might need to follow.
No, I'm already following. I don't know. I don't see
I
anything that says I
appreciate
need
your
to be
follow.
following.
That's all right. We can figure it out during break.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Okay. A group target. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
Group target. Okay.
And anyone who didn't use their die can use it now.
Leading this.
Ooh, Fergus.
Oh no.
Seth, that's a 2.
6.
Nice.
Four.
All right. So the grand total is still a 6. That's going to cost whoever led it 2.
I have no idea who led it.
Well, I failed, so I can lead that, so I can check those off. Take
Okay.
one for the team for my bad roll.
Okay. Yep. I think you all kind of are poking your head indoors and stuff, and asking each other like, "Can you see her in here?" and stuff like that. So you're making a decent amount of noise. I think we're going to start a clock, a 4 clock with 1 tick. That is, Red Watch alerted. So it
Okay.
would
Why
be
are the Red Watch being alerted?
because DRG works with witches. It wouldn't be Red Watch arrives. It would just be that they have been alerted.
So in 4 ticks, we can use wild magic with reckless abandon.
Never mind. Can you make that 0 ticks on that clock? I just
0 ticks.
remembered your total was a 6. So that's you do it.
Yeah, we do it.
Still out of 4 though? Just 0 ticks?
Yeah. 0 ticks
Thanks
out
to our patron's gift.
of 4. Oh, yeah. All right. So
We found her.
yeah, Elise finds the door. It's a heavily sealed electronic door that it's a heavily sealed electronic door that is an elevator, is where basically you see her head go, or her body go through the floor as she descends into where the elevator would be, and disappears down into the floor below that you didn't know was there.
Okay.
So the elevator seems to be locked down in some way. It's not responding to any button presses.
The key cards? The key
Uh,
cards?
Elise
Maybe?
still have those?
Yes, but I'm willing to hand them over to anyone who wants to give it a try. Or I can try, because I'm probably the only one of us who's tall enough and not a monkey.
All right. Which card do you want to try?
I am going to try the one with the most vibrant red.
Okay. All right. It works. You hear a generator turn on from below, and the elevator comes to life and starts to rise up to the first floor. And
Now we're just going to have to figure out how to operate an elevator without touching anything.
Gotta find a stick. Or a screwdriver or anything long and pokey.
Do we still have her toe?
yeah, yeah.
You use the toe to push the button.
Hollis has the toe.
I'll try
Maybe,
it.
Paula's darling, can you animate bodies yet? You could get the janitor to come to it.
I could.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Do you
It's
want to run back to the janitor's body while everyone else waits for the elevator?
sure.
All right. Well, in that case, you are rushing back when
Oh.
Seth
Oh,
and Elise are standing waiting for the elevator. You see the door open and a pristine elevator awaits. The door opens wide and then, after a few seconds, threatens to close again.
Oh dear. Maybe you should put your monkey hands in there so it stays open.
I'm just gonna like block the sensor.
Okay.
Stick my arm in the door.
All right. You do so, and the elevator opens back up, and it continues to do so about every 6 seconds until Hollis makes it back.
Just
All right, Hollis.
So
imagining
it's
a gorilla
one
figuring out
essence.
how a motion sensor works.
Yeah. Right, Hollis.
It's one essence, and they follow simple spoken commands. They have a harm clock, and they make
Mhm.
action rolls at Covenantier.
It's actually 1D now. Updated.
Okay.
Updated. I'll get that to you later. But yeah, it's 1D for their action rolls now. But
Okay.
awesome. So no roll needed. No, there is a roll needed to find out their clock. And what spirit do you want to put in them? I would recommend the
Yeah,
spirit
maybe
of
the
Miss Bell.
the
It's
gob that's
already.
following me around, because she'll be super willing to help.
Yep.
And then she won't go through walls anymore when we're trying to
Mm.
follow her.
Good point.
I'm so tall
She wanted to be tall.
now.
Okay, so I guess a focus roll for her clock.
Sounds good.
Where's my mouse? I got a 6.
Nice. So I think that is a 8 clock.
Awesome. It's my
All right.
corpse clock.
Corpse clock. And that means that it's a pretty fast and seamless process. Do you want to describe your casting? Since this is the
Yeah.
first time you've raised the dead.
Rub my hands together, start chanting in gob. I'm going to hold one hand up, kind of as like a mediator between the spirit, and put the other hand on the corpse, as and let myself kind of be a conduit, so the corpse comes in and then back out. The spirit comes in and back out, and she stands up and starts following me back to the elevator.
Okay. Um, she as she's walking, she seems a little clumsy, not used to the body, like you
Yeah.
said, way taller than expected. Um, and she tries speaking, and she's like, "Oh, I hate this voice box," because
Yeah.
she doesn't sound like herself, and that's very off-putting and weird.
Yeah.
But she tries to introduce herself, and of course, you already know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
But turns out she's a little bit of a chatterbox. So she is talking and talking and talking. As you come back around the corner, the elevator that has just been opening and closing and opening and closing goes into very loud dinging noise mode from having been opened and closed so many times. So an alarm starts to sound, and it is really loud and very annoying.
All right. I guess we'll run into the elevator and hopefully it'll shut and be quiet.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's very loud while you're in the elevator, and then as the doors close, the alarm finally goes off.
make things more unpleasant, I'm smoking while we're in here.
All right. While they head down in the elevator to the next level, we will be right back and take a short break. We'll see you all in just one moment. good evening. Welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum, Children of Midnight Coven, episode 19. As the Coven descends in an elevator into the unknown below the Destiny Research Labs first floor. You listen to some gentle elevator music as you head down with the animated corpse of the janitor in your company. So you guys have a few moments to chat with the janitor who has Esme's spirit inside of him. If you want to talk to her real quick before the elevator opens again. Or get...
Yeah, I kind of want to know how this happened, like how she came to be dead here.
Yeah, so you guys get introductions out of the way quickly. Yeah, so she says that she thinks she was the target of a bounty of some kind. And that apparently, from what she had heard, is that there are bounties on certain kinds of witches with a lot of heritage traits, and that gobs were apparently among the most rare kind that DRG wanted to get their hands on. And that's how she thinks she got here. So yeah. The
So it's just
elevator.
jamming to the elevator music. Dun, 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 dun.
You're like,
Monkey,
what?
monkey.
Did we just get rickrolled in an elevator?
Are we still good on the red watch alert, or should I be taking anything?
No need to tick that off at all. You guys have actually, I think, rolled all pretty good successes since we created the clock, so nothing should be ticking it.
Okay, I didn't know if we had to do anything with the fact that the elevator was.
No, just flavor, because she rolled so good animating the corpse that I couldn't really use that as a way of ticking that clock. So, all right. Yeah, we'll just assume it makes a loud noise, but it's not hooked up to anything. Like, it doesn't actually like automatically alert anybody. At least not in the 2 or 3 minutes that it took. Maybe if you'd have let it go for like 5 minutes or something, it would have contacted the fire department or something like that. All right.
Usually
So
the department gets contacted because we've set everything on fire.
Yep.
Might set everything on fire. Jeez, this place is terrible.
So let's
Would that
see.
make it count as one of our preferred undertakings?
Mm-hmm.
I could make it arson.
I can make any undertaking arson.
It's not
This
wrong.
was supposed to be locate corpse, but yeah, let's make it arson.
We could do both.
Yeah, why not both? Exactly. Okay. So the elevator comes to a slow stop and the doors open, revealing a small lobby that connects to a clean zone. So there's a few chairs along either side, and like coat racks and lockers and things like that. And then there is a plastic wall ahead of you with zippers and other kinds of things in it, that leads to what you presume is some kind of like clean zone. So you're supposed to go in there wearing special suits and things like that.
So, is she in there?
There are no other people present, and Um, yeah, if you let her go, because she's still trying to get to her corpse as requested. So if you let her go, she makes a beeline straight into the clean zone.
Okay.
All right. So, um, yeah, so she sort of gets herself tangled up in the plastic, and is like trying to use her arms and everything, but she's so much taller than she's used to being that she's having a really hard time like opening the zipper, like just getting her fingers around the zipper and unzipping it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's being all clumsy and knocking into the plastic wall and everything and making a lot of noise.
Well, I'll
Um,
tell her to stop and to wait a second, and that will help her with the zippers.
um, I think I think that might require a roll of some kind because she is this is so personal to her that it's going to take maybe a command or something to sort of break her concentration on it. So, what do you think? What do you want to roll?
Um, I mean, she's supposed to be under my control.
Yeah, she is. You're definitely going to get a big increased effect. Um,
I
but
guess that I could do a command roll.
okay.
That command isn't bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to give you increased effect on that because of the animate dead spell that she's already under.
Okay.
Do you want to use anything to get an extra die? I'm going to
No.
say this is risky.
I
Yeah.
failed
Well, it's risky,
with a
so you're going to
1.
gain 1 XP on
Yay.
what is command under resolve.
Yeah.
So you're going to gain 1 and resolve XP.
Okay, good.
And I think what this looks like is the spirit is like trying to almost escape the body because the body's not getting there fast enough. And the body becomes like wrapped up in the plastic. And then you sort of hear her own voice come out of the body and she screams. And you see the body go limp um, in the plastic. But then she kind of snaps back into the body. And we're going to mark 3 on the.
She
Uh,
hurt herself in some plastic?
what's that?
She hurt herself in some
She didn't
plastic?
hurt herself, no. The clock is not just for harm, it's for anything that might end the spell.
Okay.
So she basically is like really trying to escape the body, but the spell was strong enough and it's still got her held in. So you still
Okay.
got 5 ticks on that clock
Mm-hmm.
before she goes. But yeah, you're able to get her if you want to get her out of the plastic. She'll be a little bit more easy to control now. Now
Yeah,
that
I'll
she's
go
sort
over
of
and try to unzip everything so we can all get through.
okay. Yeah,
This whole
you
thing feels like a dog tangled up in curtains.
exactly. Yep. All right. So yeah, you get over there and I mean, it's a trivial matter to unzip this thing, this basically big heavy plastic curtain. Uh
Mm-hmm.
it's a trivial matter for you, but it was existential crisis for her.
Sure.
And
I assume being dead is an existential crisis.
of sorts.
Yeah.
Especially when you get brought back into a corpse that's not your own.
Yeah, that's 2.5 feet taller than you used to be. All right. So yep, when you open that up, you feel suction, as in, you've just released a whole bunch of like clean air into the
Mm-hmm.
area. Um, and you can see another one of those zippered entrances about 10 feet ahead of you. And you can kind of see through it. You can see there are medical beds all throughout this bottom part of this like ward.
Okay. I'll go and unzip that one as well.
You all going as well?
Yeah, I just want to know if Elise is smoking in these clean rooms.
Oh yes, it's going to get this place very contaminated. No clean air for long.
All right. Yep. You open up the second one, and you are surprised to find that it looks like this area has been recently cleaned. There are no people on the beds. There's no blood dribbles or anything on the on any of the beds. But the corpse makes a beeline for one of the back rooms. You can see a room off to the left that she seems to be heading to, and then you can see a series of windowed rooms on the right, like multiple rooms that have windows with blinds on them.
Well, I can't help but look in the blinds. I gotta try to peek.
All right. So she runs over to one of the doors and starts clawing at the handle. And you can hear it it's like spring loaded. So when she hits it, it just makes a springing noise and back up, and it apparently is locked. And then when you go and peek into the rooms that have the windows with blinds, you can barely see in, and it looks like office rooms, but you see an entire wall of um, uh, file cabinets.
Now that sounds like something that should be burnt.
Or stolen.
You said this door is locked. Is it more keycard doors, or is this something we can do with our lockpicks?
That's a good question. Do you want to call Elise over with the key cards? Seth? Does Seth want to
sorry.
call
Yeah,
Elise
sorry.
over with the key
I thought Hollis was at the door. And sorry, I didn't realize.
Oh no, Hollis went to the other two doors that have with the blinds that have all the file cabinets. I don't know why I can't remember the word
Curious.
file cabinets today.
I
So
just
the
read
corpse
it.
went one way and Hollis went the other way.
Okay. Then yeah, at least you want to come check out a door with me, see if we can get that last key card to open anything.
Well, we can try. You are allowed to take the key cards, darling. I'm not attached to them.
They've worked so well for you so far, though.
It's true. Perhaps it's my Median blood.
All right, you want to try the most powerful key card?
I imagine that this is a very high security area, so I'm going to say yes.
Okay. When you swipe the card, it beeps green twice and then red once, and then buzzes.
Did it open?
It did not open.
So should we try another card?
Yeah, which card do you want to try next?
I'm not certain. And it seems unlikely that a lower security card would be more effective. But might as well try one. Salmon, perhaps.
Okay. One green beep and then two red beeps and a buzz.
This mastermind.
Yeah, it looks like these might be a level of security too low for these for this door.
It does make sense.
You can feel some cold air coming out from underneath the door. Hollis, do you want to try anything to get into the
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I would try to freeze the lock and just kind of bust it off of the door.
Okay. Which door? So there are 3 locked doors now.
I'm gonna go to the one where Esme thinks her body is
Okay. All right.
and do that one.
Does that
I
invoke
guess
Tartarus?
yeah, invoke Tartarus, and I'll spend 1 essence and do a very focused,
That
tiny
makes
blast. It's a blast kind of night.
sense.
Okay. And that is gonna be a focus roll. Mm, It's a partial success.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So I think you're having a hard time keeping her away from the door. So you're focused very intently on putting this through the handle and the keyhole, and through her constant scraping at the door and the handle, she
Mhm.
ends up getting frostbite on the corpse's hands. And so that's going to take another tick off that corpse's clock. But otherwise, completely successful. The She hits it one last time with her frostbitten hands, and the lock just shatters off of the door.
Okay.
And you can see the pocket door is available to be opened now.
Okay. I'll do my best to slide it open.
Okay. Um, you get the fright of your life as when you slide open the door, a 7-foot tall Asterian is standing on the other side of the door. Um, but it looks like he's just been propped up there,
Oh.
possibly as a prank. And when you slide open the pocket door, it hits him in the leg, and he sort of spins and falls over with a very loud uh, but fleshy
So
sound.
it's a dead Asterian?
Yeah, another corpse. You hear a beeping noise coming from the opposite side of the room. It's like beep, 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 beep,
Let's
beep,
get her
beep.
corpse and get out before it blows up. I'm gonna have her go pick up her own corpse since she's got big man hands right now.
Okay.
She can tote herself out of the building.
All right. She's gonna try with the frostbitten fingers.
You just throw
Uh,
herself over her shoulder. It'll be fine.
Anything anybody else wants to do?
Yes, are there any bone saws about?
Yeah, same as the other room upstairs. There are bone saws, scalpels, and even drills.
I would like to grab a bone saw and try to take the Asterian's horns.
Oh.
But he's not going to use them. I'm sure I could sell them for a bit.
Okay. Um.
I'm just scavenging body parts.
A question.
Mhm.
Does the security guard have like a cell phone on them?
Security guard.
I mean, not the security
Janitor?
guard, the janitor.
Yeah, I think it would make sense.
I want to command her to pull out the security guard's cell phone and to take pictures of all of these corpses so
Okay.
that I can go to Rara Avis and ask them if any of these are their people and tell them where I found them.
Wow. Okay. Um. Okay. So you want her to do that before she goes and picks up her body?
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, she can do it if she can do it with one hand, hold corpse with one hand, phone pictures with the other hand.
I think
Whatever
with the,
makes her comfortable.
between the frostbite, the lack of control over this body, and everything, it's probably going to be one at a time. So she'll, yeah, she reaches into her pockets and fumbles out a cell phone, and starts trying to work it. You want to roll 1 die action roll for her?
Sure.
If she could do them at the same time, she could get a really morbid selfie with herself.
Failure.
Okay. So yeah, she's having a hard time. Maybe there's a lock on the cell phone that she's having a hard time bypassing, but you can't be sure. She's just getting very frustrated and looks like she's about to throw the phone.
Yeah, she wouldn't know how to really use it anyway because she'd never used one before. So
Yeah.
okay, I want to kind of just sit down in the middle of the floor really quick and do like a super fast little meditation session real quick to see if I can get any other spirits to tell me who they are and where they belong and if they have messages for people before we leave.
Okay. All right. Do we want to roll or do Elisa's action first?
Yeah.
Okay.
That the spirits are going to be very angry when you get to them because they've lost their horns.
That's probably the least of their concern.
So what do you think it would be to saw off a horn?
Oh, I don't think an action roll is needed, but
You
just
gotta brawl those bones off.
just the time it's going to take. So you notice as you start sawing on it, you notice the beeping is getting faster, and you can hear some mechanisms that are becoming active in the walls.
Concerning.
But yep, you're working your way through the horn. It's going to take a little bit of time.
If I can get away with just one, that's fine too. Could drink out of it.
All right, Seth, anything
Make
you
a
want to do
horn.
before Hollis tries to commune with all the spirits?
No, I think I want to cross the room though and get over closer to Hollis. In case
Okay.
shit hits again.
Okay. All right, Hollis, what do you want to do? Reach over and see if you can join hands with as many of the bodies as possible?
Yeah,
Ooh.
pretty much.
Do a big...
Touch as many as I can.
Okay.
Lay them all down around you. You're like doing like a snow angel.
All right.
And
what
I
do you want
guess
to
I will do a focus.
Okay.
And
Good
I
luck.
think I'm going to spend. Ugh.
Fey
I'm gonna
bargain
spend. Yeah, a fey bargain.
for an extra die?
Yeah. Well, I would rather like increase my effectiveness.
That's going to require willpower then.
Dang.
I'm trying to think if there's another way of doing it. You could do it as a flare, a magical flare, tapping into your Baba nature and
Mhm.
just expanding outward so that, like your essence is like reaching out and touching more things. That would just cost 1 essence to get increased effect that way.
Okay, I'll do that.
What does that look like? What kind of thing comes out of you?
Probably like a mist, like a foggy mist.
Okay. All right, you can make that roll. And this is going to be risky. Well, actually, it's a gather information roll, so technically not risky.
But I don't have an extra die to roll, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I got a 2 6s. I got a critical
You got a
success.
crit. Okay. So you hear this cacophony of voices rise up, and you hear a very faint voice at first, and it says, "Is a trap?" And then it gets louder, and then they're all yelling it. It's a trap, is what they are screaming at you, and that's when you hear click, 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 and where there should be sprinklers, there are effectively flamethrowers that all start bathing the entire room in flames.
All right, let's grab Esme's body and get out as quickly as we can.
Since that was a crit, and you have telepathic bond with everyone, I'm going to say that it doesn't just count as an automatic flamethrower of doom against everybody. You all have a split second of reaction time. Yeah, who knew the fire was going to come from inside the building? So if anybody wants to make a prowess resist, unless you have another ability you want to use.
Prowess sounds good for me.
Otherwise, you are facing level 4 harm.
Yes,
Crispy critter.
I will attempt to prowess resist as well. Likely won't go well, but
I have a partial success. Oh, I'm supposed to do an R.
That's okay.
I got 4.
Okay. Seth, you want to use one of your
my goodness,
Oh, I got it.
damn.
3 sick.
No need for that. No need for using a special ability. You kicked the ass out of that thing.
I'm
You
likely not
regained
going near as
willpower.
3
Ooh.
willpower.
Why I thought you had more prowess resist than that.
I do not. Prowess is basically my weak point.
Oh, okay. Wow. So that's going to be a harsh one for you. So on the crit, Seth, how do you get out? I'm going to say you get out completely unscathed.
Is the janitor's body useless at this point
No.
to carry the gob?
No,
Okay.
not useless.
Okay.
Although it probably will be after this fire.
Because I'm wondering if I can just scoop if I do something stupid and I shapeshift to a kangaroo and shove the gob in my pouch. And I
Nice.
just beeline
Aw.
out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think between Hollis's ability to commune with all of the dead at once and your telepathy and your shapeshifting, I think that makes perfect sense with your critical that you could get the gob's body and get out unscathed.
Nice. Okay.
Hollis, how did you get out and only take level 2 harm?
I was sitting in the floor, so I probably just scrambled on my hands and feet out of the room super fast.
Okay.
As fast as my little hands and feet would carry me.
All right.
Staying low to the floor, so I was less likely to be, I had a few milliseconds more to get out of the door.
Yeah. So you take level 2 harm, charred back.
Oh, now I'm electrocuted and
Backed. All right. And Elise, you resisted as well. So you're only instead of level 4 harm, you're going to take level 3 harm, burned to a crisp. Well, no. What's one level below burned to a crisp?
Crispy.
yeah.
So what does that look like?
Third degree burns, maybe?
Yeah.
My
Ow,
goodness.
that hurts.
You're the
That
last one
looks
out.
like a lot of fire, and my bloody cigarette is completely incinerated, as is much of my gown, and my skin is very, very unhappy.
Yeah.
Covered in all sorts of sores. blackened around the shoulders. My hair's probably fried as well. Awful.
I think it would make sense for your character that you don't hit the floor. You just stride out of the room through the fire.
Most likely. Which is probably why it's so bad.
Yeah. So yeah, that is terrible, terrible burn.
We're all just like, get the heck out, and Elisa's like, I don't run.
Yeah.
But I'm wearing heels.
You watch as the Minotaur or the Asterion that was on the ground is very quickly incinerated as soon as the rest of you are out of the room. Elise was close to the door though, because that's where the Asterion was. So I think you got out with one horn.
Perfect. Not worth it, though.
Not worth it. No. You're gonna need some healing for sure.
Some aloe vera at the least.
Just
Yeah,
for a going forward type of thing, can we add players being burned to my lines and veils, please?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. We will skip out on the any further descriptions of that. That makes sense. So, yeah, I would say you are nearly unconscious, but holding it together, Elise.
Always when we go into these underground labs, I end up in a terrible state.
Mhm. And I think on that is going to fully trigger the alarm system when that actually goes off. But we're going to cancel the red watch clock because now that they have pulled this shit on you guys, they definitely don't want any any evidence leaving. So yeah. All right. You have the gob, and you are able to leave.
But first, Seth, darling, do you have any lotion in that kit of yours?
I do have a first aid kit, so probably.
Hollis, did you take a healing power?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I feel like one of our coven mates might have a healing power.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't either. So you
Maybe
make
we
it
can
back.
get one of the vulture votaries to feel bad for us
Mm,
when we take them Esme's body.
ooh, I have an idea. I don't want to be presumptuous of Hollis, but do you want to do a flashback where you take the thing that you were supposed to hide and find a better hiding spot for it?
I don't know, I feel like inside of a toilet's a pretty good hiding place.
Well, you rolled a fail on that.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I guess I will do a flashback to try and hide it in a better place.
Okay. Because now you have access to the whole lower level that you didn't have access to before. So we can
Yeah.
say while you were in there, you picked it up and have been looking for a better hiding spot. So on your way out, you might find a better hiding spot.
Okay.
Okay. So you are standing in front of the elevator, waiting for it to come back down to the second floor.
I will put it on top of the elevator.
Oh, cool. Good idea. I like that. All right, the elevator doors open and you all hop inside.
Is my corpse body gone?
It was incinerated, yeah.
Okay.
But Esme has made her way back to the underworld.
Good.
Going to light another cigarette on some hair that's still on fire.
All right. Who wants to give Hollis a boost?
But
Okay.
I won't, but it hurts to move, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can. So do I have
Yeah,
to do anything for that?
Nope. Yep. So, yep, you open the hatch and toss the small box up on there and close the hatch just
Yep.
as the elevator reaches the first floor and the doors open.
And there's like 50 armed guards waiting for us.
Nope. Amazingly, it is as clear as it was when you first came in.
They just assumed we would die in the fire.
You can either head out through the back or try to make your way back out through the front.
I think we should just go back out the way we came, since the
think
door's
so.
open.
Yeah, at least we know what that way.
Avoid setting off any front door alarms.
All right. Anything else anyone wants to do while you're still here?
Well, I'm going to drop one of my burnt gloves on the ground as a calling card.
Nice. We survived, bitches. I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. Okay.
Thankfully, we don't even have to worry about hiding the janitor's body because it was burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just a big bloody pool in the middle of the break room. But other than that, yep.
We can
All
just
right.
leave them to imagine how that got there.
Yep. So we
Well,
can call
there's
that the
probably
end.
a trail of blood from where my gown hem dipped
Yeah.
in to the door that was ripped open by a gorilla, which is
And of
probably going
course,
to be even more confusing.
the blood trail from the janitor getting up and walking through his own blood into the basement.
Very confusing.
So that's the end of the undertaking. Do you want to head back to the Covenstead or do something else while you're in Manhattan?
I still have a pocket gob.
Pocket
Yeah,
Gulp?
we should.
Yes, we're walking
The
around with
corpse
the
in my
kangaroo.
kangaroo
Oh,
pocket.
that's right.
We
Yeah.
should, we should take that to the Vulture Rotary so we don't have to hang on to a corpse for too long.
Good point. Good point.
Stuff smells
Um,
bad enough already.
And maybe we can
so
convince them to do some heals for us.
yeah, when you arrive back there with the body, they have a feast of fey fruits laid out for you. 12 fey fruits strewn across the table.
Oh, wow.
And as soon as they see you come in carrying only one body, they immediately start gathering the other 9 back up.
Well, that's
Put
not
them
nice.
away. Yeah,
Well, I
apparently
expect
the
you all
rest
to
was going to be a bonus for getting the other bodies out. So, but they take Esme's body and very gingerly take it to a pyre that looks like it was set up for about 6 corpses, but now only has 1 atop it.
So, do they know that DRG is taking people?
Well, they do now once you came to them and told them. So they had an expectation that there were probably more.
Well, there were.
Yeah. So with the information that you're able to give them, they are able to identify the Asterian. So I will make a note to identify the Asterian.
This looks familiar.
It definitely had only one horn when we got there.
And I think because you were able to communicate with all of their spirits and you got a critical on that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that you can possibly make contact with them if you want to try that, they might enhance your reward.
Yeah, sure.
All right, what do you want to roll for that?
Focus.
Okay. I say it's reduced effect
Okay.
because you don't have any corpses,
Yeah.
but you can do it. You can make the attempt at least.
That's a part of a corpse.
Yeah, I
I had
agree.
5.
If you
Hold on to that horn.
yeah, I was gonna say if Elise is willing to give you the horn to hold on to, and you're willing to show off that you have it, I'll let you roll an extra die, or I'll
Yeah.
give you your choice, an extra die or increased effect.
Increased effect.
Okay, is that okay with you, Elise?
I'd rather not, but it seems a sensible thing to do. They're going to want to take the horn from me.
They're not going to take the horn from you, but I am going to add a fate, and it's going to count as a black mark against your coven in their eyes that you have his horn. But it will give increased effect if you are willing to do it.
It was on the floor when we got there, so
Yeah.
We
so
just
yes,
picked it up.
I'll let
So the 5 will turn that into effectively a 6, and you're able to make contact with all of the other spirits there, and they are able to use you to identify them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since I so much love to be possessed, can I just sit there and let them tell their stories one at a time
Yeah.
through my mouth?
Yeah, that sounds good. Why don't you start a long-term project,
Okay.
and we'll give you one for free here of you basically relaying all the information that you can about these dead witches and trying to give their death meaning, kind of thing. We'll call that a 6 clock, and you can go ahead and make one roll on it for free. So the idea would be you would come back to Vulture Votary at later times
Mm-hmm.
and pass on another story.
That's what they do. They
Yeah,
eat
exactly.
the sin of the dead. So
Yep.
okay. So what should I roll for that? That's a fortune roll.
It's up to you. Fortune. No, you could do focus or
I think it makes the
consort.
most sense for me to do focus for this one since I'm
Okay.
using
And then, yeah, that's a fortune roll.
a fortune.
Yeah, so F.
It's a mixed result. 2 ticks.
All right. 2 ticks off the clock out of 6. So a third of the way full.
Mm-hmm.
And for every tick of the clock, they're going to give you all an extra fey fruit.
Okay.
So right now, they've given you 5. You come back, and they'll give you more. So you can choose how to split that up. Lilith, do you want to read that perfect visual?
So, Lilo and Stitch. Stitch playing record style. Unhinged open jaw while the spirit speaks through you. So she's got their finger on all the corpses. The big rain.
Yes.
Fan art of it.
Hollis as Stitch, kind of a match made in heaven
Yeah,
when
it
you
kind of
think about
works.
it. Yeah.
Tiny
Both
green
small,
Stitch.
both got spiky teeth.
Awesome. Okay. So how do you want to split up the 5 fey fruit?
Well, we could each have one and then throw the other 2 into like the coven vault and have them for rainy day when we need them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
sensible, practical. That way we have a store for when we need to blackmail someone. Well, bribe.
Okay. Let's do a drawing down the moon then.
Yes, please.
Who wants to lead that this time?
I did it
Oh.
last time, so I don't think it should be me.
I'm very crispy.
Yeah.
So I don't know how effectively I could be leading a ritual.
Oh, are any of the Vulture votaries going to help us with some heals? Can any of them do that?
Yeah, they can do that as part of your healing action. If you take a recovery, you can do it through them.
Okay.
Typhoon improved his comment. Your experiment 666.
Yay!
Well, you did roll a crit with 3 6s today.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Did that happen twice? I did it again. Put up the wrong number of fingers.
Twice.
Yeah. I don't know my 4s from my 3s and my 3s from my 2s. But yeah, I think 2 people got 666.
Nice.
At least one, but anyway.
I will do drawing down the moon, so Elise
Okay.
can rest and bask in the glow of the moon to feel better.
All right.
We'll get
You
a
wanna
moon
roll
burn.
that. That's 2 DDTM.
Okay. 2D. What is it?
DDTM, drawing down the moon.
Okay. What I left out the 2. There we go.
All right. So that is 2 essence and 1 willpower.
Okay. That's not great.
It's not the best ever. All right. Well, it looks like we have a lot of extra time. Do we want to do our downtime actions real quick?
Yes. Some healing downtime
Get some
actions would
healing.
be great.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a little bit burnt here.
Does anyone have an action they want to take with Vulture Votary?
That would be the healing actions.
Yeah. So, healing actions with Vulture Votary will let you do 2 dice instead of 1.
Okay. Let's see. I currently have 2 level 2 harms and 1 level 1 harm.
That reminds me, I need to make a healing roll.
So what am I rolling for healing? Just 1 die?
2 dice,
2
fortune
dice.
roll. But I need to make a healing roll where it actually tells us
Yeah.
when you rolled that. Oof.
I got
Jeez.
2 1s.
Ooh.
Well, sadly, that
Yes,
means
on your face.
that means there's a complication.
Oh.
So, you get to make up that complication. Maybe. Well, you have an idea?
I was thinking permanent scars,
Oh,
like from the burns.
okay. On your back?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, we don't have to do that because I know that's a little much. I was thinking something to do with the spirits. Maybe.
Now I'm just haunted.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That they're like haunting you because until you get their stories out, at least. So like
Okay,
it's
yeah, that makes
temporary
sense. Until
trauma.
my clock is done, they're just always there.
And you can choose if that's nightmares, haunted, paranoia. You can choose the trauma, but
Okay.
yeah. And somehow that disrupts their healing ritual. It just the spirits absorb the healing, and it just doesn't help you at all.
Jerks.
Yeah.
Very nice, given what we did.
I know.
Yeah.
Trying to be super nice to them.
And we'll say the healing all takes effect once that clock is full too.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Can they at least bandage me?
Yeah, no, they absolutely dress the wounds. At
Ooh,
least,
corpse skin.
ooh,
That'll
corpse
help
skin.
burns.
Yeah. At
Hopefully,
least you need a healing as well.
yes, and hopefully they do a better job with me.
2 dice fortune roll.
It's a 6.
Much better.
Nice.
That is reduce everything level 1 and level 2. It all goes away, and anything level 3 goes down to level 2. Does
No, I've
anyone
only
want?
got like first degree burns.
Nice. Does anyone else want to do another heal or a different? Okay.
I would like to use one of mine for telepathy for next session.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, I think I might try to get some willpower back.
Okay.
I'm getting low on that. Is that
Uh,
another fortune roll?
yeah. The lower of your insider resolve. And what is the therapeutic situation that you're partaking in?
Probably just meditating in my graveyard.
Okay.
Do you still have the toe?
The toe?
Yeah, you probably.
Didn't
You
go on the
glue it
fire with
back
everything
onto
Oh,
else.
so I had a horn and a toe.
You did. Actually, you had the whole corpse of the gob.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We did.
Oh, didn't you want to petition them to where you could bury the gob in your own?
Yeah. I was gonna ask if I felt, I had a connection with her being a gob that
I
I think she would appreciate being buried in my graveyard.
Yeah, they're gonna save that huge pyre for if they get more bodies
Okay.
later. So they hand off the gob Esme's body to you to do with as you wish.
Sweet. I think that'll be the way that I do my willpower regain is
Okay.
burying her.
Okay.
That'll be
Awesome.
very yeah, help me de-stress, feel like I'm doing something important. And
Nothing
that
more relaxing than
is
digging a grave.
hopefully this is better. Yay!
616.
616. That's the devil.
Awesome. Exceptional result.
So how much?
Extreme effect or 5 ticks. That is 5 willpower you regain.
Nice. Okay. Wow, that puts me back at full.
Wow.
All right. Full.
All right, so that's 2 downtime actions for Seth and Hollis, and only 1 for
Is
Elise.
it 2 for like doing telepathy for next?
No, sorry, it's only 1. I
Okay,
got
because
confused.
I didn't do a healing with everybody else, so I've only used that one.
Okay, so Seth and Elise still have a downtime activity.
I would like to use my remaining one to continue my study to craft my artifact.
Oh, awesome. I think you're pretty close on that, right?
Yeah, I have
You
one
left?
more tick on my study, but then I still have the actual build
Yeah.
clock to do. So that's just how do I do that again with the fortune rolls?
You choose what action you want to use and then roll it as a fortune roll. You said you only have 1 tick left?
I only have 1 tick left on the study.
Okay.
Because there's the study clock, then there's the build clock. So I
Right.
think it is the
Yeah,
study clock, so I'll just do study.
Yeah, those are separate, so go ahead and roll. Make sure you don't get a 1.
And I just do the F to make sure it's a fortune, correct?
Yep. A 5.
5, but there we go.
So that fills that clock.
Yay!
You now have a completed design for that specific artifact. So now you can start mass producing that artifact.
Wonderful.
Unless you just want 1.
I'll have to decide. I've got the 7 stones, so I think the idea we were doing before was that I was using all the stones to make a tier 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
Put
that
'em
would mean
all
I can't mass produce them.
one by one by one by one, so you see through the whole thing like a
Ooh.
telescope of
Big old
hagstones.
telescope. That could be funny, actually. I like that.
In Blades in the Dark, they have a thing called spirit masks that you put on, and you can see the spirits through
Oh,
them.
cool.
Yeah. So similar idea, but they're extremely common in Blades in the Dark. It's
Oh,
like if you play a certain kind of character, you just start the game with one.
Yeah.
So in this game, it's a little bit more difficult. And Elise, for your final downtime activity?
Well, I have an artifact I would like to start on, but I think in this instance it might be good if I attempt to reduce some of my willpower as well
Okay.
and save the artifact creation for future.
What's your
So,
therapeutic situation?
well, I'm going to need to get my hair redone. So I'm going to get my hair done.
Nice. So we'll see how well that goes. That's the lesser of your insight or resolve.
They are exactly the same. It is a critical.
Wow. Another crit.
Our
On with
downtime
the
actions are
rest.
great.
Typhoon, instead of
Apparently,
like you failed, you get a bowl cut.
I get the most fabulous hair possible.
yes. So this is you walk out of that salon with hair better than you had ever walked into one before.
I get into one of the salons where they actually use blowtorches, so they just make it work.
Maybe it's a witch-run salon, and they give you back your own hair.
A
Like just
bewitching
make it
beauty.
grow right out of your
Oh
scalp.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think with the critical, you should be able to like add something to the game world.
Perfect hair. At any rate, I assume that more than reduces my willpower to 0, since I only had 4.
Yeah, you just reduce it to 0.
And have really good hair.
And does anyone want to spend any Fey Fruit to take any additional downtime actions?
No, I think I'm good. I don't have too much willpower essence spent.
I think I might spend a Fey fruit to work on this clock
Okay.
so that I don't stay haunted for too long.
Nice. Well, if you
Not
get a
that
crit, you'll fill up the clock.
Yeah. So that I'm rolling my focus dice as
That makes
a
sense.
fortune roll.
Yep.
Okay. I got 2 ticks.
All right. So you gain another 2 Fey Fruit from them.
Okay.
Minus the one you spent to use it.
Yeah, that was one of my personal ones.
How do you want to divvy out those Fey Fruits?
Um, we could put them both into the coven, or we could take one out and everybody could get another one. Depends on how many you guys want to carry.
I currently just have the one, so I'm okay if we want to keep those 2 in the vault. So I don't
Okay.
tend to use them very much, but unless you guys want them or need them.
Cool. Yeah, I think we can put them in the vault and it wouldn't be a problem. Because we can pull them out whenever we want.
Whenever you're at the Covenstead.
Yeah. So mostly for downtime actions.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to stick them in the coven. Okay.
Yeah, I need to make that an official use of the vault
Yeah.
because it's not in there in the book right now. So makes sense. All right. Morningstar, your camera is being a butt.
It really just will not
Oh.
stay focused. I'm
Yeah.
not adjusting anything, it just keeps going out of focus.
Yeah, it's
Mine was
weird.
doing that.
Yeah, Anya's was doing the same. All right.
For some reason,
and
just backing it seems to be the only thing that fixes it.
it
But-
works on me too. Does anyone have any ideas for an undertaking next time? I would say it would be Vile Legion Strikes Back, but sadly we are 860 away from being able to do that. So
Oh, dang.
yeah.
I'd put my points in, but I've already done so, unfortunately.
Well, thank you. So
Is
yeah.
there anything else we can do at House of the Ram? Because I still have my Pentacle of Solomon
yeah.
there that I dropped.
Ooh, good point.
We
Yeah.
could bring some of the children and see if they can help us fix them all.
That's
Oh,
also
yeah.
true.
Or at least
Maybe-
me. We can let the children keep the parasites, but
You want
Yeah.
yours gone.
Maybe you guys could do like a supercharged version of their rite of cleansing or something, or make your own rite of cleansing using their help.
Yeah.
And potentially knock that all out. So
That
yeah,
sounds
that's
cool.
definitely worthwhile.
or we can do a rite of subjugation. And I can completely control this parasite.
Just shoot it out every now and then. Have a tentacle that
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
slap people.
Spider-Man it out of your all right. I think we can end it there, and we will do XP off stream, and let's quickly let everyone know where they can find us all on the internets. We'll start with Anya.
Yeah, I'm Anya. You can find me on Twitter at Anya Timor.
You sure can. That's not a lie. Lilith.
I'm the photographer and editor for all the Morningstar content. I'm currently working on getting some of my own content up for either partial editing or maybe potentially commissions in the future. It's in the
Cool.
work. But if you want to find any of the work that I'm currently doing before I get those pages up and going, just follow any of the Morningstar links.
Awesome. Morningstar.
Well, you can find me and all of my beautiful pictures at the Cytherian on Facebook or the _ Cytherian on Instagram and Twitter. And I highly recommend it because, as beautiful as I am here, I'm even more beautiful with good lighting.
And I'm Gavin the GM. I run my own Twitter account, Gavin the GM, Balsamic Games Twitter account, and Midnight Kith, which is the Children of Midnight Coven account. We're currently working on the full version of this game, but it is also available for free as a quick start right now at quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com. Everything you see here is included. Wait, that's not quite true. But everything you see us doing in the game is included. And we have a merch store at merch.balsamicgames.com. We have exclusive content for subscribers that is going back up. We are doing some redesigns on merch, and we will have some to show off hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully both Lilith and Morningstar will have some to show off in just a couple of weeks, if all ships well. And yeah, I think that's about it, unless anyone has a parting message.
I'm gonna flip up back through the chat.
I don't know if my parting messages are Twitch appropriate. I put everyone a dirty hole again. But
Thank you to Typhoon 330
Very
for the bits. Thank you. I'm just saying our names to Drowsy.
much. Yeah. Thank you to all the new followers, Chill
Yeah.
Gator and Mr. Klaus, and our new subscriber from last week's rebroadcast after I fixed the audio. We met Little Bits 9236, and Little Bits was awesome. We chatted the entire rebroadcast, and they were awesome. Thank you, Classy Stars, for following. I love seeing that little pop up.
Thank you also to Leslie Have. Sorry, I missed that with the highlight. Thank you also.
Thanks, Leslie.
Yeah. Yeah, great to see you, Leslie.
I'm so glad you're feeling better.
Yeah.
And also thank you to Junie Willow.
Thank you. Thanks for the retweets earlier too. And and nice to meet you, Drazzies. All right. Well, with that, we will bid you all a fond farewell and see you next week when hopefully we meet our follower goal of 150 followers. We're very, very close. So tell your friends, tell your enemies. No. Tell your rivals and your allies. All right. Well, everyone have a great night.